Welcome to lesson 4 for the workflow application. This is a little teaser of what is to come when we're done with this lesson here. We're updating our task list from being just finished and not finished to having many more levels of status. First, I want to fix this error from our last lesson. The problem here is when we validated the user, we fired off the get tickets, and it's much too soon to fire that off. Unfortunately, our token has not been kind of registered the way we wanted. It's a little too fast. So what I'm going to do is pass that functionality down to my module, my workflow module, my ticket builder module, so that when they load, then they'll ask for the information and the ticket or the token will be ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a use effect. Use effect I just want it to run once. So I'm going to have this say loaded as false, and then when it goes through use effect, it's going to set it to true. And that way the use effect function only fires one time, because it'll have a condition saying if use effect is false, fire this off. And once we fire it off once, it's true, so it'll only fire off once. And as you can see here, I'm going to swing in and get my tickets here. That way, the kind of race between if my token is ready or not is over, and I know I can have my token works and all my stuff's in place. This is a very common JavaScript thing, like when you're kind of racing against each other to see what's ready and what's not. And so this is our win right here. Now we also need to do this exact same thing from workflow to the ticket builder as well. So right now I'm just pasting over exactly the same thing in a use effect function that we'll call. Here I see that edit ticket needed to have a validation because we are looking for an error. And I need to run the validate function prior, so I'm just swinging in and fixing that from last time. All right, now let's go see how our functions are doing. Okay, we're logging in, and now that we see that we've gotten to the workflow and the ticket builder, and they are getting their data without that same error, so that did work. Now let's go and do the update for the task status. Like I said, it was just check for complete, and that was all it was doing. So this function was, you'd click on it and it would update complete or not complete. So that was nice, but Bootstrap comes with all these color codings, as you can see. So let's utilize these. So our status can change and then can have color coding as well. And it'll make it a little more, when people go to see the ticket status that they've written, they can see not just if it's complete or not each task, or they can kind of tell if it's waiting or in progress, so on and so forth. So we're trying to minimize the amount of emails they will be sending to the people. So here we're going to need to run task, and we want to see the complete task because the status is going to be written here. So this color code is where I'm going to bring this in. Default is danger, which, as we know from Bootstrap, is red most of the time, based on your theme. But let's go ahead and say, now, we don't want it to, or if it has hold on there, then we need to use the warning color. So :hold means it's on hold, and it'll be the warning is what will represent the Bootstrap color. If it's in progress, we're going for the info Bootstrap color. In review, if it's going to review, we're going to have the dark Bootstrap color theme. And if it's complete, we'll have our success, which is typically green. And as you can see, now there's a whole bunch of different options, and I don't really need this ternary operator as much for the not complete. Coincidentally, we're going to just be taking that out and just changing the actual class name at the end. Here we go. So let's take out what we don't need. And we're just going to have the color code here. And here in a second, I'll be taking out the ternary operator. We also want to do something similar. When we're doing our edit mode, we need to have these options ready. These options are going to tell us what the status is of the task. It's a static drop-down menu for each one. And then we have to have a name that specifies for each one as well, because you can't have just name equals needs to be something different per task. Otherwise, it'll only work on the first one. Name, in that sense, kind of works like an ID. So let's get a default value in here. So they're aware of the menu and what this does. And let's go ahead and put in the status for waiting. They can select if it's on hold. And obviously if it's in progress, this is going to be an option they can do during edit mode. Yeah, I forgot one. It's in review. I'll have to come back and fix it. But complete is also another one. So we're going to do an update status instead of that check for complete. And let's go ahead and add that function, update status. And what we want to do, update status, is basically going to grab what the value is that we're going to be. First off, we need to find out what the active list is. So which task list are we talking about from which step? And so we're going to make a temporary one. That way I can modify it and then I'll update it later. So here we go with the status. Now status is what we selected during the edit process from the drop-down menu. Now obviously we need to find out what that specific task, based on its number, what its value is. And so as you can see, that's what we're doing here. Which task was it specifically? Yep. Now if it's default, as always, we're not going to do anything, just return false. They were just getting the menu reset. However, if this is on the task list of something we can identify as being something that is in a status level by having a colon, we're going to get to work on it. So if it has a colon, we know that this is something we can modify. Now, first off, we're going to take away the status that it currently has. So by doing that, I'm going to break it down to, I just want the name of the task, and we're going to stop it at the colon using index of. That way now this thing no longer has a task. Now we're going to do a switch. So basically I'm saying if status equaled waiting, we're going to change that task. So it'll say whatever the task is, colon, waiting. I'll come back through and put the colon in. I'm just typing fast. Anyway, you can see here that we're going to change this throughout. So if it's on hold, we will be replacing whatever the status was with hold. And in progress, same thing. These are all just a case switch. The same thing goes if you wanted to do if. This is just as effective as doing like if equals. But it's either way, whatever you prefer to use. If you want to use a case switch, you're welcome to it. Here I shall put in the colons that we took out. And as you can see here, our statuses are being presented to us. And now I will go ahead and set the active task list to whatever I've modified. Now, as you can see, the function's in the wrong spot, or the hook is, so I'll move it here in a minute. Let's log in and see where we are. And as you can see, I have changed this so you can see the status, because it's not just 1 or 2 anymore. It's not changing yet, so let's get back here and let's start working on changing the class. And as we saw earlier, I had a ternary operator, and that was going to be a problem. So we do not want a ternary operator here. Oh, actually we do. Sorry. This is for the parent. So we're looking for, if it's all success and all complete, then we will get an alert success. Sorry, the ternary operator for the task is going to be down lower. See how it says color-coded? So now that's going to cover us. Now we don't need the ternary operator. It's just going to change based on color-coded. And as you can see now, we're going pretty strong here on that. All right, here are our tickets. And let's try changing status. Just kind of write something random. It's waiting. There we go. Seems to be working. All of them are complete. Now we have, it's green, its parent is green just like we asked it to. If it's in progress, it goes back to not being green. So let's go look for some of my mistakes as I pointed out. I'm going to go ahead and make a new step just for fun. It's kind of random information. Now, as you can see, it's green here. The reason being is because this add/delete tasks wasn't on the list of, hey, it better not have this. So along with all those other things, we definitely don't want it to say that because that's not complete. So what I'm going to do is make another one of these pertaining to that phrase. And if it has it in there, then it's not complete and it'll go to alert secondary. I need to swing up and make a copy of what it says. And obviously I've noticed that I've put it in the wrong spot, but thanks to Visual Studio. So now it's color-coded correctly and it will be out of that switch case and she'll work. And let's get rid of this. I don't really need a commented out old function. And as we are sitting here, I don't want this to say this. This does not mean complete. So when it says that, I do not want the parent to be green. Let's go double check. Correct, this is good. Let's try to add a couple more things. Nope. Not complete. Yeah, it's still doing it. Ah, there we are. Now it's fixed. All right. Now let's go ahead and write the in review. One I forgot, so that they can select that as well. Yeah, everything was expecting it. It just didn't have it on the list. And let's go ahead and try it. All right, just do some new step. I'm just going to toy around and see if this all works. Everything's color coding correctly. The parent is gray. And now it's going well. Wait, that's not right. That's correct. There we go. We'll see you next time. We'll be doing a messaging system.